Today we're going to be looking at the Blane's Entourage Special Strike Team for Deadzone. Blane has been what you call the quote-unquote mascot for Mantic games. He was this alien creature that always wore like some pseudo gas mask over his face. So you could see the eyes, you could see the head, but you couldn't really see what the bottom half of the face was, which gave it this unknown appearance. You weren't sure what was underneath. And for pretty much the entire time Mantic has been making Blane models, it's really been that. There's, I think, only one time where Blane has had his mouth shown, and I think that's the zombie one. I think I've not got that one, and I'm not bothered about getting it, so it is what it is. But in this new strike team, Blane has got his mouth showing, and well, yeah, I don't like the model, to be honest. It feels like it's a knockoff of the Predator, if I'm honest, which doesn't really fit Blane. Blane, yes, will be in the background, but he won't actually be doing fighting unless he wants to go down there. And if he wants to go down there, he's going to go out there in front. He's not going to be stealthy. Stealth is not in his vocabulary. He's out there and he's making sure if he wants people to know he's there, they will know. Blane has had a lot of models, and in Deadzone there are 3 that's actually playable. Blane on foot, which, you know, the stats are alright, it's just the weapons are a bit Blane on jet bike, which the model looks nice, but the weapons are still a bit Blane in Peacekeeper armour, which isn't as overpowered as they were in 2nd edition, but they are still pretty dang good. Blane's also been in Panathor, or the Kings of War area, as it were. There's been Zombie Blane for Vanguard. There's been Blane on a dinosaur, because there's been, I think it's a Master Blane for League of Infamy, which is not a bad model. It also adds goggles to his face, which makes it look like it's not Blane, but if you look closely you can kind of see that it kind of is. I think there's one more, but I can't be sure. There is also Blane from Dreadbull, where he's just got his arms folded like this, like I'm in charge of everything. That is one model I wish I'd kept, because it's just a cool model to have, really. And now Blane leads his own strike team. A lot of the models are models that you could get from Star Saga. Some of them were really hard to get a hold of, so it's nice to have these. Also, a few of these are also usable in Deadzone as either mercenaries, such as the Survivor, or living legends, such as Hund, or actual units in the faction, such as the Ogre Terminator. Yes, the Ogre Terminator is now available because it's on the vault. Yeah, so you can print your own Ogre Terminator, which when I come up to going over that, you'll see the model, and it could actually work for Kings of War as a Ogre Hunter, I think. But that's just me. So, starting as we did with the rest, with the specialised operations, well, the faction special rules, but these have only got the specialised operations. First one is acting as a team. His own agenda special order may be used by any active model, not just Warmonger Blane. Yeah, so in this one, the splat can only be used by Blane unless you take acting as a team, which when I go over it is really good. Next we have Stable Portal. When Leishmare uses its Portal Mastery, put down 2 tokens, clawing through the hole, which I think that's just for description, in both the starting and target cube. Friendly size 1 models may count these cubes as adjacent when using advance or sprint actions, which means you get much more mobility. I'll have to see what Portal Mastery does, but it means friendlies essentially get to teleport to a specific area, which actually gives you a lot more mobility than this team lets on, because mobility is one of this team's main weaknesses. Next one is Psychic Mist. Kizi Uru, I think that's how you pronounce it, gains the cloaking device keyword, which gives them a bit more survivability and support, which is always good. Finally, Blane never plays fair. Add one experimental cyborg, because it's a cyborg orc, do you get it, to the roster. This profile is only part of this roster when added by this special order. It adds another model, I suppose, but it just adds another model. To be honest, the other three are really good. The stable portal, especially, could actually be used a lot more than acting as a team. Yes, you don't get the splats, but you do get a fair amount of mobility with it. If you want to be closer to objective, or if you want to be potentially higher up on the building, you have those options, which is nice. When he uses Portal Mastery, you don't have to be in this when the deploying area in its starting area. So you could use it in the second turn, for example, and Leisha might have moved like 2 squares or 3 squares because of her move dice. This means you put a portal down, or some sort of marker where Leishma is, and then another marker where Leishma's going to go. And don't forget, teleport goes 3 squares. So yeah, you've got 3 cubes of movement. Psychic Mist isn't bad. Cloaking device, it's always good, I think, but the other two I think are a lot better. So starting with the leader himself, Blane, or one Warmonger Blane, as it were. I'll put the model up. It's available to buy as from I want to say about 3 weeks ago from this recording. It's not a bad model, it's just the head sculpt. I really wish they didn't show his face off. It's just taken all the mystery out of it. But oh well. Headstrong, Recon 4 plus Tactician 2, Tough his own agenda. Which does spend a special order result on a friendly active Warmonger Blane to treat it as either an advance, shoot or assault dice result. This disregards the usual restriction of only one of these dice per model activation, but this special order can still only be used once on the same model per round. So effectively what this means is you get to use this as either, as it says, a advanced, shoot or assault dice, but you get to use it even if you've already used a advanced, shoot or assault dice. So you could, in theory, make 3 shoot attacks. And for some models in this strike team, that's going to be really, really good. The advance one means you've got a lot more mobility. The assault one, I don't think is going to be as useful, because yes, this faction has got, well, this group has some melee capable fighters. They're not the best melee capable fighters in there, if I'm completely honest, but the splat actually being used on everyone should I say, is really good. So speed 1, 2, shoot of 4, fight of 3, survive 4, arm 1, 4 health, size 1, 25mm base. It's got a Gorse shotgun, which is 25, range 5, AP 1, knockback, weight fire 1. It's got the Ras Akan Executioner Sword, which is a close combat weapon, AP 2, frenzy 1, toxic 3. He's also worth 4 victory points, which I think that's about right, to be honest. I played him, actually, because you can take him as a mercenary for every faction, and I used him with the Matsudans. Honestly, I don't think he works with Matsudans, to be honest, but if you take some suppression weapons, then because he's not honourable, then it doesn't really matter to him. He is really good. He's really good. He's good in close combat, good at range. He's practically got everything. He's not completely immune to suppression and being blown away by grenades and whatnot, but he has a way to possibly get rid of it with Headstrong. The only thing I think is too overpowering is the Gauss shotgun having knockback. As I've seen when I used him, you can use it to take enemies off objectives, and because it's AP1 and he fires on 4s, that's really good. And plus, if he's got that splat working, he could shoot 3 times and knock people off objectives really easily. The Executioner Swordhand Toxic 3 is amazing, apart from on some factions, against Asterians, against some Matsudan units, and against certain playstyles of Veermin, well, the special Veermin strike team and some other bits and bobs. Toxic isn't going to be that useful, but it is AP2 and he fights on 3s, so I think he's worth his 4 victory points. I really do. So next we have the Survivor. Hacker, life support and tough. Speed 1, 2, range of 4, fight of 4, survive of 3, no armour, 2 health, size 1, 25mm base. Sawn off and pistol, sawn off shotgun. Range 3, knockback, weight of fire 1. I thought it'd been weight of fire 2, but yeah, whatever. Point blank shot, which is close combat. Frenzy 1 and knockback is worth 2 victory points. I think weight of fire 2. I really want the weapons to have AP on them. I get why they don't, and it doesn't make sense that they do. I just wish that they did. I think the thing that would make it perfect is giving the weapons weight of fire 2. I think he used to have fire control, where you could the sawn off and pistol were separate weapons, but they've just combined them into 2. I'd say he's good at taking objectives, or is it female? I can't remember. Please put in the comments below. Life support, tough, surviving on 3s. It's really hard to take this one down. Really hard. It's kind of like that infected scientist that the Plague and Maison Labs have. I'll remember it in a bit. Good at shooting, good at close combat, but it's got no AP, which is going to hurt a bit. I think it's just more there for taking objectives and just staying on them as long as possible. I think the main weakness of the Survivor is pinning, really. And short range for shooting, but apart from that, it's not bad, is it? Next we have Scom, Ogre Bodyguard, which uses the Ogre Terminator model, which it's one of the 2 that isn't a character as such, but the model is so characterful that it kind of is a character in its own right. It's got Headstrong, speed 1, 2, range of 5, fight of 4, survive of 4, armour 1, 5 health, size 3, 40mm base. I'm pretty sure it had tough before the normal Ogre Terminator. I'll have to check. Comes with a minigun, which is range 6, suppression, weight fire 2, and a shank bayonet, which is close combat, AP1, knockback, worth 3 victory points. Scom's not bad. He's got 5 health, survives on 4s, armour 1, suppression and weight fire 2. It's a short range shooting, well, not short range, it's a bit short range for a suppression weapon, but he's not bad at it. Fighting on 4s with AP1, yeah, does alright for himself. Plus being size 3 means his chances are he's going to have an extra dice. He's not overpowered, I don't think. His is 3 victory points. I think is right on the money for what he does. Only thing I'd possibly change, increase the range of the minigun, but apart from that, I think he's pretty decent. Next we have Lishma. Companion, Teleport and Portal Mastery. I'm assuming the companion is because Lishma's got 4 arms, which, okay, I didn't see that before. Not bad in close combat then. Speed 1, 2, range of 6, fight of 4, survive of 5, 1 armour, 3 health, size 1, 40mm base. I asked on the Mantic forum on Facebook, or it might have been the Deadzone one, why Lishma's on a 40mm base. And yeah, I can kind of see why, because the arms stick out too far. Yeah, I can see why it's on a 40mm base. But the cyborg should be on a 40mm as well, because the arms are completely outside of the base's parameter. Comes with Claws and Knife, which is close combat weapon, AP 1, Frenzy 1 and Tenacious. It's worth 2 victory points. And Portal Mastery, what that does: once per game at the start of its activation, Lishma may use Teleport as a short action. Because Teleport's usually a long action, Teleport means you get to move 3 squares and do whatever. I'll just see Teleport. Can it move again? Yeah. I mean, if you use the Portal Mastery, this would suggest you can teleport and then do a advanced move as well. So effectively, Lishma's getting a 4 cube move in 1 turn, which is ridiculous. Plus, if you have the special operation where anyone can use the Portal Mastery thing, it just means wherever you start the Portal Mastery off, you put something up, and then when you leave the Portal Mastery, where Lishma ends up, you put a Portal Mastery thing down. So people can just move through it willy-nilly without any problem, and it doesn't work for enemies. In fact, that would really negate the mobility issues. You could really get where you want to go with this faction, and it'd be so good, as long as you know what you're doing. And it's really not that hard to know what you're doing with these. It might seem it does, but it's kind of not really. But yeah, Lishma's not bad close combat. I didn't notice Lishma had companion, so get 4 dice, fighting on 4s, AP 1, Frenzy 1, Tenacious. Yeah, that's a pretty decent close combat character actually. Next is the Experimental Cyborg, which unless you take the Blane Never Plays Fair specialised operation, never gonna take it. Beast, Construct, Rampage, Resilient 1, Bootlegged AI. Speed 1, 2, fight, range of 5, fight of 4, survive of 5, 1 armour, 2 health, size 2, 25mm base. It's got a Bionic Claw, which is close combat weapon, AP 2, Frenzy 1, and it's worth 2 victory points. Why has it got a ranged stat when it hasn't got a ranged weapon, and it's got Beast, so it can't pick up grenades? I don't know. Maybe this needs FAQing. But Bootlegged AI, this model may always act as the last model in its strike team and must fight an enemy model if it is in the same tube if possible, or reduce the distance to the nearest enemy with its actions. This model is only used if you pick the Blane Never Plays Fair specialised operation. So with that, the good news is that Rampage really isn't a... Well, no. If you roll a 1 and 2, it counts friendlies as enemies, so, yeah, okay. I've got no idea why you'd take this one. I've literally got no idea whatsoever. It just adds an extra model in. It's... Yeah. I'm lost for words why you'd bother. It's not bad in close combat, but considering what everyone else does, it's just there really, ain't it? It's just there. Next we have Kizai Uru. Shield generator 3. Speed 1, 2, range of 4, fight of 7, survival of 5, no armour, 3 health, size 1, 25 mil base. Surprised it got 3 health, but yeah. It's got Psychic Smash, which is range 4, firing platform 1, knockback, Psychic. Mind Wipe, which is range 3, Psychic Stun, and Passion, which is range 2. Bit odd, but okay. Invigorate, Psychic, and it's worth 2 victory points. Kizai is more of a support character. The Psychic Smash is pretty decent as a shooting attack, but the Psychic Stun and the Invigorate is more its bread and butter, really. Although, let's be honest, the Psychic Smash, yes, it's short range, but because it's Psychic, you don't need a line of sight. So even a little Plague Dog that you're probably not going to see, yeah, that ain't safe. I mean, you could combine that with the Portal Mastery, not the Portal Mastery, what's it called? Stable Portal thing. And that means Kizai get to move all over the place and then get the Psychic Smash going off. Or the Stun, or the Passion going off. As a shooting character, it's pretty decent. It's short range, and I think that's its biggest downside. But you've got Shield Generator 3, which is gonna buck up the survivability a hell of a lot. Plus, if I just go on what Shield Generator does, this is more advanced than the Energy Shield and works in the same way. Instead of covering a single model, however, a model with the Shield Generator keyword provides protection for every model, friend or foe in the same cube. If a model is protected by one or more Energy Shield Generator, then all apply. Roll separately and reduce HP lost for the amount of number of successes. So Energy Shield is, if you would take damage, you roll dice equal to the number of shields you've got on you, and then for every 6 you ignore that much damage. But this works for everyone, so it's be really good support. You could even keep Kizai with what's his name, Scum, and have the Shield Generator going off, or the Survivor, or even Blane. Oh, that'd be really, really nasty. But I would keep Kizai with someone else just so they can get advantage with the Shield Generator. So, next we have Hund, Bounty Hunter. Fire Control Tactician 1. Speed 1, 2. Range of 4, fight of 5, survive 4, armour 1, 2 health, size 1, 25 mil base. He's got Sniper Rifle, which is range 8 Sniper Scope, and Twin Pistols, which are range 3, weight fire 1. The fire control means if they were both weapons are within range feet, it can fire both, which is nice. He's good shooting, he's got no AP. I'd have thought he'd have some knives in close combat, considering the model does show them. But as a shooter, he's pretty decent. Yeah, I can sort of see why he's worth 3 victory points. He's also got Tactician 1, so if Blane dies, I suppose he's second in command, I guess. He's not bad in close combat in the sense that he needs 5s, but is more for the shooting, really, isn't he? Let's face it. Finally, we have Sergeant Eric Umasar, which is a armoured Goran. It's basically one of the bosses from the Rebs expansion for Star Saga. Fire Control, Headstrong, Resilient 1. Speed 1, 1, so it's fairly slow. Range 5, fight 5, survive 4, armour 1, 2 health, size 1, 25 mil base. I don't know why he's armour 1. If you look at the model, it kind of looks like he's armour 2. He's got an Onslaught Cannon, which is range 5, suppression weight fire 1, and a Rocket Salvo, which is also range 5, frag 3, indirect. He's worth 3 victory points. Honestly, that's pretty decent. It's kind of like Hund in the sense that he can fire both his weapons, but they've got a fair bit more range on them. If Omisar gets proper use of that stable portal thing, which might not happen considering he's really slow, but it might happen. He can really deal some damage. This faction's not bad at suppressions, if I'm honest, considering you've got two of them that can. He's also got a frag weapon, which is nice, indirect, so we don't need line of sight for it. It's just basically a mini mortar, effectively. Yeah, not really much else to say, really. He's slow, but fairly decent at shooting, even though the shooting's a little bit short range considering he's really slow. The strike team as a whole is really good at shooting. They've got ones that have got ranged snipers. They've got some suppression characters. They've even got a mini mortar in their midst. And all of them are really good at what they do. They've even got some support characteristic. They've really only got kind of two that's good in close combat, Leishma and Scum. Yeah, the side bonk is alright in close combat. Well, pretty good in close combat, but considering it's got Rampage and the bootlegged AI, honestly, you might as well leave the side bonk at home, to be honest. Yes, it's an extra body, but considering what else you can have, I don't think it's really worth it. I honestly don't think this faction is as overpowered as I thought it'd be. I think it's right on the money for what it does. I don't think it's got anyone that's going to make this one unplayable, well, overpowered unplayable at tournaments and just in play usual, unlike another one that we'll get onto in another video. So yeah, it's a good faction, and if you buy Blane or buy the STL file, which is actually cheaper, and then print these off from the vault for this month, which is September 2024, as this video goes out, it's going to be pretty decent. So that is it for the video. Goodbye for now. Where's Nastanza?